Emotion is a mental state associated with the nervous system. Emotion is often intertwined with mood, temperament, personality, disposition, and motivation. Text is a factor that can affect people's emotions. However, the same text will have different effects on different people. The first fact is the difference in gender. Men and women have different understandings in the same text. Given the focus on the expression of emotions, men and women may come to display different perceptions of appropriateness when, for instance, seen from a socialization perspective.
Perhaps you know that women are more emotional than men, and that men tend to hide their emotions inside. However, oftentimes, these two genders change their emotional roles.
Why do men and women have different emotions for the same text?
Are women wired to be more emotional? Not exactly. But new research provides more evidence that the male and female brain may have very different ways of processing emotion. Previous research has shown that women generally experience higher levels of emotional stimulation than men. Now, a large-scale study from the University of Basel suggests that gender differences in emotion processing are also linked to sex variation in memory and brain activity.
The second fact is the difference in age. People of different ages may have different understandings for the same text.
Keep you with these few ideas. In order to sell an idea or product, you have to know your audience and appeal to their emotions and desires. Also, anticipate their emotional response. And finally, make them feel good about themselves and relate to what you're saying.
Last time that you invited me to your house for a cup of coffee, even though my wife is godmother to your only child. But let's be frank, you never wanted my friendship, and you were afraid to be in my debt.
I didn't want to get into trouble.
I understand.
Based on the above factors, it is accessible that adding emoticons in the text to correctly express people's emotions. What would you understand from a message like this? Is this person sad or angry? It is hard to tell without facial expressions and vocal tones. With the increase of technology in our daily lives, we have more conversation with computers. So the computers need to understand our emotions too. It is difficult to understand the emotion just by looking at a single message for computers too, especially in a conversation.
Let's look at humans' general tendencies of communication. According to a UCLA professor, communication contains several facets including body language, vocal tone, pitch and emphasis, and the content of the message being conveyed itself. Looking at the percentages, one can see where trouble starts to arise. 58% of communication is conveyed through body language, 35% through vocal tone, pitch, and emphasis, and lastly, a mere 7% is focused on the content. So while messaging someone electronically, a grand total of 93% of the attempted message isn't even conveyed. The aids of emojis, excessive punctuation, and capitalizations aren't much help.
Due to the development of social media, people are accustomed to using text to express emotions, but in fact, they should reduce the use of electronic products and communicate more with people in the real world.
Texts have
have become the new form of greeting. Hearts are stopping faster than when they were beating, and soon the norm for funerals will be to live stream our grieving. I saw a man lying on the ground face down, his soul spilling out from underneath on Instagram. I saw a woman sitting next to a man whose arms cried bloody tears, eyes cried bloody fear on Facebook Live. I heard about a girl whose privates were plastered on Snapchat, resulting in a self-inflicted gunshot wound she would never wake up from. I see a world crumbling into pieces, dying a slow death, autopsy reading, morbidly obese from feasting on daily doses of images only coroners should see. Is there something in the water that is quenching our thirst for sensitivity? And don't get me wrong,